my super suit?
What?
Where is my super suit?
Put it away!
Where?
Hey Ari, welcome to the pod.
Oh yeah, hi. I was waiting for my chance to like say something, but I don't know what to say. So
Welcome to Brick Wall Cinema, everyone. And today we're talking about The Incredibles. When you guys saw this movie, how did you guys feel about it?
I was a child, so
Me too.
the first time I watched it, I really liked it. Honestly, I don't even remember when that first time was. All I remember was that I was probably in the back seat of my mom's minivan. That makes the most sense to me.
Oh yeah, I remember your mom's minivan. Her mom used to pick me up and take me to school with them, and we'll watch like movies in the background. But the car ride was so slow.
Because we had that little TV in there.
Yeah, and the car ride was so slow. We could only get to the trailers before we had to get out the car.
Yeah, yeah.
But in this case, the
Sounds
trailer for
right.
this one was honestly, I loved the trailer for the short, like the teaser for this movie. If people don't know, it's just mainly Mr. Incredible trying to put on a belt. That's the whole trailer. That's the whole teaser. And
That's so funny because it's interesting. It gets you interested. There's like a lot of stuff to look at, and then there's that, and that's so freaking funny. That makes you think like, okay, but what's this actually about? Because obviously it's relatable to some degree.
oh yeah, but also I noticed in the teaser, they're only wearing the red suit, not the blue one in the beginning. So they had to reanimate this whole opening, which is actually pretty cool. Like Sergio, you were mentioning before that we started recording that Pixar needs to do this more often. But since animation is becoming more hard to do nowadays and more expensive, they're not doing more marketing for it, like no more additional animation for it. You know what I mean?
I suppose so, but we have seen shorts done. Like for when we went to see Encanto, they did a short with a raccoon and his son.
That's Disney.
Yes.
This is Pixar.
So obviously they can still do it. And Pixar is owned by Disney. They can do it.
Well, not at first they weren't.
Well, no, because they didn't want to. They focused more on other things. And I'm not saying that now it's harder because they still have a lot of talented people who could probably still do it.
Yeah, I think it's just because it was more of like, what can we do? How far can we take it? And how creative can we be? Where now it's, oh, well, censor this and censor that. I get where you're coming from.
Yeah. Last short I remember before a Pixar movie was Elemental. They were showing the one for Up, like where it was like Carl's first date.
Oh, yeah, that one was cute.
Yeah. It was not as good as the other ones. That's mainly what the problem is. Like they left all the good shorts on Disney Plus and no longer in theaters.
Yeah.
It used to be an event back in the day going to a Pixar movie in theaters. God, I sound so old saying like this. Back in my day, they used to show shorts before the movies. God, we used to show shorts of one-man bands and and rabbits trying to get carrots.
I think
There weren't those like part of like film festivals too? Like they would compete in a film festival to see who would be featured in front of a Disney movie. Am I remembering that correctly? I don't know.
They were?
Maybe.
I thought they were.
I don't think so. I think they just were made in-house because some of them were part of like stories in the movie. Like the one I could think of is Jack Attack. Remember that one?
Yeah.
I did not see that in theaters.
That one was fun.
I don't think that wasn't that can't be in theater. That one couldn't have been in theaters. Or if it was, it might have been for another movie. Because it will make
I remember seeing that on like the extras part in the Incredibles DVD.
I remember what was before Incredibles. It was Bounden.
Yeah.
It was the one with the jackalope.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember that one.
There was a sheep that got sheared for all his wool, and he was made fun of by all the other animals until Jackalope came by.
You don't remember that? This one.
Oh yeah, no, I don't remember that one at all.
It has been years.
I remember I used to have like the DVD for all the Pixar shorts all in one like compilation. I used to run that back and forth all the time when I was a kid.
I remember when they had those.
Let's get into the movie. Like my first impression of it was basically watching the movie on DVD. I mean, I don't really know what to say about it. Yeah, I just loved watching it. I think it is my favorite Pixar movie. No, it's one of my favorite Pixar movies, if not top 3 easily. And my favorite director, and one of my favorite directors too, Brad Bird. Even though he hasn't done made movies has done, holy shit, except one, which is literally a piece of holy shit. Like it's really bad. I'm talking about Tomorrowland. I'm ranting. I don't want to talk about Incredibles. I loved it. I remember watching on DVD. What about you, Sergio?
I remember watching it a lot as a kid. I really did like it. I mostly liked the superhero part of it. But it isn't until I got older that I started to get more into the theme of it about how to appreciate your family and to not and all the deeper topics that were put into it. Because let me go to my notes for this. It's the conversations that they have throughout the movie that I noticed have a lot of meaning.
Like what?
Let me see. Let me go to the first one. All right, let's see. All right, the first one I noticed was Dash's conversation with his mom in the car, and with Helen in the car, his mom. They were talking about the fact that Dash has no outlet for his powers, even though he's always hyperactive. He wants to do something besides just sit in class and get good grades. He wants to do extracurricular stuff. He wants to do sports. He wants to be active, but he can't do that because of the fact that he has to hide the fact that he has superpowers.
Right. And also, did you catch on what he said when his mom said,
everyone's special, and then he just says, it's just another way of saying that no one's special. It's a whole like theme of that in the movie, throughout the movie, where people celebrate mediocrity over someone who is actually exceptional, but then it becomes this whole conflict. And then it got me into thinking this whole conflict of, is it right to ignore everyone else for someone who's exceptional, for everyone to ignore the exceptional and celebrate mediocrity? And then it became this whole thing where I thought about, well, how do you compromise to that? When someone is exceptional, everyone else could end up feeling jealous or just inadequate. But once you celebrate the mediocrity, the person who is exceptional feels like they're useless or underappreciated, kind of like how Bob was throughout his time in the office when he was working for insurance care.
I was going to bring up that what Dash says on how everyone's super is like saying no one is. That's almost exactly what Syndrome says later in the movie.
Everyone's special, Dash, which is another way of saying no one is.
And when everyone's super, no one will be.
Yeah, actually, I noticed that when.
When everyone's super, nobody is?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think about that quote a lot.
Yeah. It also brought into a pretty interesting conflict that I thought they were gonna do into the second one, where people were making theories like maybe Dash might be a new supervillain in the second movie, because when it was first announced that they were going to make a sequel, they thought there was going to be a time skip and Dash would be older and more volatile, where he might actually want to fight back, kind of like how protests go violent in a way, like, an extreme protester or something like that.
Yeah, I would have saw that. I'm kind of seeing him sort of like, is it weird to say like a Homelander type character?
There actually is a whole
huh?
There actually is a Homelander type in the Incredibles universe. Those short, that short you said Bounden and how there was Jack attack.
Yeah.
There's also extra voice lines that people recorded, and even the actors recorded for like interviews with other superheroes. There's this one called Gamma Jack, and he's basically like a Homelander type. He's just Homelander, plain and dry. He's a superhero who has such a big superiority complex that he basically looks at everyone else as lesser beings, basically.
There's always going to be a lot of collateral damage. There's lots of villains, and there's lots of villainous deeds going on at any given time. Part of my job is to prioritize which villains I'm going to combat. So I take a look around. I see if there's any good-looking women who need to be rescued immediately, and then I sort of start from there and work my way down the list.
Huh. I didn't even notice that.
I recommend looking into it, you guys, because once you listen to all the recordings, I looked at them on YouTube. There's a lot of interesting stuff you can get at on the interesting characters from throughout the Incredibles world.
All right.
Interesting.
So let's get into our favorite scenes, I guess. Then this is gonna be easy. I already know mine's was. What about you guys? All right, you go first.
My favorite scene?
Oh yeah.
Tough question, really. I don't know. There's a lot. There's just so much to like about The Incredibles, but I really like the scene where Violet and Dash realize that their parents aren't there to help them, and they have to defend themselves against what do we call it, Syndrome's cronies.
Yeah.
And they also at the same time they're we haven't been able to use our powers to our full extent ever, and it's the first time where they're just let's see what we can do.
They're just going all out, and this is the first
time. Oh my gosh! When he realizes he can run on water.
Yeah, that's my scene.
Good.
That was my favorite scene. The 100-mile dash. I think that's what it's called.
That was a good scene.
Yeah, it was so awesome because everyone I remember watching is like, oh my god, that's so cool. The music, the score for that scene is amazing. For the whole movie is phenomenal. It's like James Bond
Actually-
type of music.
Actually, the original composer that was supposed to make the soundtrack actually died halfway through making the soundtrack. That's when they had someone else to make it.
I think they were inspired by Henry Mancini, I believe.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
That's just the guy who did the Pink Panther theme, huh?
Yeah, and
Makes sense.
This
They say
one-
they wanted jazz as well to represent the time period that it was in, because this takes place in the 50s and 60s.
No, 62.
No, that's when the ending. That's when the current, when they are in the present day. That's when it takes place, 1962.
Yeah.
But when they were back in the younger days, that was in the 50s.
Oh, right. Yeah. So yeah, you're right.
That's true.
And knowing that it's in 1962, there's one thing I have questions about. I know I'm overthinking it, but Bon
is
Voyage. Bon Voyage.
Yeah.
One, he's a mime that talks. Two, he's in Ratatouille.
Oh yeah, they used the same character model.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see that a lot in Pixar movies. That you notice they reuse some of the character models as a way to save time and effort.
But then I started thinking, when does Ratatouille take place? Because they do have TV and stuff like that, but it looks old. Like it could be from the 80s or 90s or something.
Well,
I don't know.
When was the year that Ratatouille came out?
2007 or 8.
I thought it came out sometime in the 90s because I remember them that it was inspired by the story of an actual chef who passed away because he was losing Michelin stars.
Well, I
Like, he
believe
died
that.
he died from stress and a heart attack. They used that in inspiration for the Gusto.
It says 50s and 60s, 50s and 70s, but also says 2004. So I don't know. It could be anywhere.
I'm not sure they had an actual idea in mind as for the time period. They just had a general idea of what to put into the movie, but they didn't specify on the time period yet.
Interesting.
Sergio, what's your favorite scene?
My favorite scene would probably be when they all reunite and they fight the goons as a family. That's when the kids first see their parents in action and realize just how powerful they are. And now the parents and the kids actually fight together as a team, which was for me was pretty cool because it was the first time they actually fought together as a team and they did so well together.
Right. And even it was nice to see them together. And even before all that, when Helen rescues Bob and she's trying to yell at him, he's just happy she's alive.
Yeah, he says that it wasn't running. He's like, "You're just trying to pick a fight, but I'm just happy you're alive."
Yeah. I was also a little worried because as throughout the movies go along, you could think that he could be having an affair.
That was the
whole thing. Is she thought he was having an affair.
Yeah. So watching it again, I'm like, oh. I didn't even really catch on to that until like I think 2 years ago when I saw it in theaters. When did the second movie come out?
Second movie came out, I believe, in 2018.
18? Yeah.
That's a long time ago.
Yeah, they came out like 16 years apart.
Oh my god! No, I mean like recently. I thought that was like a couple years ago. That's like 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Jeez, I remember it like.
I remember it came out before the pandemic.
I remember I saw it in theaters with my dad and my whole family. We saw it in IMAX. It was a double feature. And my dad didn't see the first Incredibles before, so he was losing his mind over it. It was nice to see someone that with fresh eyes watching the Incredibles. He was like, "Oh!" He actually started clapping when he saw him running on water.
That was a really good scene.
Yeah, even the music with the little the two notes playing the whole time while he's running. So cool.
Oh, that reminds me. The scene that creeped me out like as a child when I watched this, the one that just really just. Oh God, I got my nerves. Was when Violet and Dash go to see if they can help their mom, and they go in the tunnel, and they're being followed by the robotic bird, and it's like staring at them. That bird was creepy as heck, dude. I did not like the bird with the like red camera eyes. That was scary. Which I mean, probably was the point for the movie, but still, it was like, whoa, okay, that's kind of dark.
What freaked me out the most was the whole scene of them in the airplane. That gave me so much. Yeah,
that was tense. Oh,
she's yelling at her kids for doing something she told them her whole life is just hide. So I'm like freaking out. Like I don't think they're gonna make it.
No, it's her reprimanding them, and then the part where she's calling them off to like trying to get them to stop the missiles, and she's like, "There's children in here," and like the cut between her screaming and Bob screaming, "My kids are on that plane!" Like, oh my god, bro, that was so like
that's a good way to build up
I
suspense.
I miss that. Like they put like actual suspense in movies before, and like I mean Pixar movies, and now they're a little not as harsh. But I mean that was a good movie. Like that actually had my skin crawling when I was watching it.
Yeah, the body count in this movie is insane. It's like 21 people died in this movie.
I've never taken that into account. Really?
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yes. You notice it first when they're finding out, when the kids are finding out the goons, when Dash crashes several of the goons that like flying vehicles.
Oh yeah,
they
that's
crash
right.
and they blow up.
Uh-huh.
You do not see the bodies because honestly it's a kids
Dash
movie.
has a body
But,
count.
one thing that also freaked me out, if I want to say that one too, was when I was a kid, I didn't know it at first, but when it was flashing through all the superheroes that were terminated, that freaked me out, even though I didn't understand what it meant by terminated. And then what freaked me out even more is when Bob was captured by all those expanding balls that were being shot at him.
No, I'm not gonna make that joke. I'm not gonna make
I know. But it did freak me out because like it would keep flashing back and forth from the guns and to him being stopped in his tracks. And I was freaking out like, what the hell is happening to him?
Yeah.
Yeah, because like that's a weird way to capture someone. All right, so I'm gonna just shoot all these big expanding balls on him, and he's gonna stop
That
and
was
just give
freaky.
up. Yeah,
I think it was mostly done
Because
on
they
the fact that
suffocated him, didn't they? Like he
No,
literally wasn't like he
No,
knocked
he could-
out.
he could still breathe, but he just couldn't see because it kept expanding over his face. He couldn't move or anything. They were
I
made
thought
to
it
be
was
so-
implied that he couldn't.
I think it was the editing too that also got me because there was a lot of like jump cuts, like there, boom, 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 boom. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh,
Also, I want to ask, do you guys think that Bob is bulletproof?
huh. I never really thought about that.
Because like remember when Enda Mode said that a lot of the suits that she made are durable and they can stand bullets. But I was wondering, is Bob bulletproof? Because back in the flashback, they pointed guns at him. And I was wondering, did they have bulletproof suits back then, or was just Bob naturally bulletproof? Because usually with strength you come durability.
You know what? I don't think so because they actually when they tear his suit open, you see some blood
Huh. Interesting.
Wait, blood where?
on his body.
No, I mean where? Like what scene are you talking about?
I think it was when he was fighting the droid for the first time.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, and that's why it took to Edna's because it was torn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also a fun fact about that, the droid was originally made to fight Frozone, and that's why he was led into a volcano, because Frozone stated previously that he does not do well in high temperatures.
Oh yeah, I don't know why, but this time rewatching it, hearing Samuel L. Jackson scream too just always made me start laughing. There is no water in the air. Yeah, I'm not gonna do the super suit thing because I know everyone's gonna expect me to make that joke, but I'm not going to.
No one's expecting you to make that joke.
If I'm mentioning Samuel L. Jackson screaming in Incredibles, people think of that line.
I mostly think of his scene in an airplane full of snakes.
Also, I noticed there is no Pizza Planet truck in this movie.
Didn't
There's
this
no
come up
what?
in-
Pizza Planet truck.
Yeah, the Pizza Planet that's in Toy Story. It's usually like
It's
an
an Easter egg.
it's an Easter egg that's almost in every Pixar movie.
Oh yeah,
but
I
this
know what
one there
Pizza
isn't
Planet
one.
truck is, but I didn't know that there wasn't one in.
Yeah. They said
in The
Brad Bird
Incredibles.
said he forgot to put it into the movie because he didn't know about that, and so they added it in the second movie at the end.
Oh.
Wait, we're still on favorite
Huh.
scenes. Okay, Sergio, did you even say your favorite scene? Oh yeah, you did.
Yeah, I said
Okay,
it. Yes, I did.
Okay, let's go to favorite quotes then. Ari, you want to go first?
Probably just Syndrome's line. Just when everyone's super, no one will be. Because like he's right. Objectively, he is correct.
Yeah.
Like you can't really argue with that. He's not lying at all. Yeah, it's just weird how like that's not really taken seriously, I feel like. And that can be applied anywhere. It's not just, oh, he's just talking about superheroes. Like, no, you could literally say that about anything at all ever.
You know, that actually reminds me of a short story I once read in school, where it was about this dystopian world where everyone has enablers put on them. Dancers are put on heavy weights so they can't dance as good as they can if they took it off. People who are beautiful have masks that cover their face.
Wait, is it called Brave
People
New
who have-
World?
Yes, I think so.
Okay, yeah, I remember this book.
Yeah, it reminds me a lot about that. And also, I wanted to mention that as you say that, it also reminded me a lot of the new X-Men 97 series, where they actually make a lot of those kinds of topics mentioned in the series.
Oh yeah. This movie
Oh
does.
yeah.
This movie does bring up a lot of like, it's clearly an allegory, like the same way that X-Men is about racism or stuff like that, prejudice in the
Prejudice
60s.
and discrimination.
Yeah, in the 60s.
Yeah. Actually, this also reminded me. I remember when I was watching Film Theory, and I think they mentioned this, that there was actually no law that prevented someone from suing you for saving their life.
I believe it.
Yeah, that was an actual thing, and this person actually saved someone's life and brought them to a hospital, but then they got sued for it. And then, like not even like a few years later, there was this little girl who was dying on the side of the road, but no one helped her because they didn't want to get sued. So they came up with this law that says that no one can sue you for trying to prevent their death.
Huh.
Yeah. Man, it's crazy how this PG Disney movie has us talking about, like, has a main part. The main reason of the driving force of the movie is someone saving a life that didn't want to be saved.
Yeah, that's actually a lot of stuff that happens, surprising or not. Like for surgeons, they can be sued if they mess up or if they can't do the surgery quite as well as the patient expected, or police officers, firemen. But these are people who are actually public servants, kind of like these supers, that also could be sued for just doing their job.
Yeah.
Also, I want to ask, I noticed that in the beginning, supers are used for all kinds of assignments, because you see how Mr. Incredible has a police scanner in his car. So I was wondering, are they public servants, or are they meant for like bigger tasks that the police cannot handle? Because I was kind of confused on where it is they fit into society when they were allowed to work as supers.
I think the officers know about him. They're thankful for him because they do the jobs that they can't usually, because they're superheroes. Like, basically, I don't know. It's, I guess, more the idea, like, if you have abilities, use them for the better. If not, we're gonna beat the shit out of you. And because I'm right now, I'm watching a new Batman series that just came out, and it started to remind me about how the cops usually hate Batman, but maybe because he just doesn't have any actual powers, they can't really do shit. And with stuff he does do, anyone else can. Only difference is that he's rich.
I don't think it's the reason why they hate him. I think they hate him because of the fact that he's not that much different from the villains that he actually fights. Because all the villains that he fights, as you notice, are actually representations of aspects of Batman. Bane is his strength. The Joker is his insanity. The Riddler is his intelligence. The Penguin is his nobility. All that stuff.
But yeah, I'm just comparing it to Incredibles.
Yeah. I think that
that's why. Oh yeah. Okay, I'm sorry, Sergio, but I was gonna say that's why Syndrome was treated as like shit and then wasn't respected because he wasn't super, and the people didn't take him seriously because he wasn't super.
Yeah, actually, that was yeah. We forgot to mention that Syndrome. Well, actually, it's not that because no one expressed him. He's just obsessed with trying to be a hero without actually knowing what it means to be a hero. And then he got so obsessed with the idea that everyone just talked down to him because of the fact that he didn't have powers. So he made it so that he did have some sort of power, kind of like Tony Stark.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's God. Okay, now I want to talk about Syndrome a little bit. Shit, no, I can't.
Yeah,
No, I need to pinpoint that. We're still on quotes. Wait until we get to notes. I'll put a note about that. Hold on.
Okay.
You gotta stick to the program.
All right, then. All right. What's your favorite quote from the movie?
She already did.
Oh, yeah. It was Syndrome's quote.
Oh, okay. So, Chance, you want to go next?
Okay, yeah. Favorite quotes. Like, some of them are from the boss, like Mr. Incredible's boss. He's like, "They're experts, Bob." Or also like Bob saying, "He's getting mugged. Well, let's hope we don't cover him."
Oh God.
And also, "You sly dog, you got me monologuing."
Oh yeah, that quote was actually put in 2007, I believe, was put in one of the top 10 100 best quotes.
Oh crap! Okay, I'm not original. Okay,
of course not.
You. Anyway, so you have a favorite quote, Sergio?
A favorite quote?
Go ahead. Ari, what was that?
No, the one that you just said, the "you got me monologuing." It's the one, like when he's looking at Mr. and Mrs. Incredible, and he's like, "And they got busy."
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You married Elastigirl and got busy. Yeah. All right.
When I first saw that scene, I immediately thought I thought he was talking about like how he's gonna be busy making sure that everyone's in chains. I did not realize until I was older that he was talking about the fact that he had kids.
Okay. Did you see your notes, Sergio? Your favorite quotes?
Let me see. My favorite quote, I actually not sure, but let me think for a second. Give me a second. Oh, I think I just like Dash's quote when the Violet jumps out of the water and when she's being shot at the guy and he just starts punching him nonsense saying "Don't touch my sister." I just like that scene.
Oh yeah, that was nice.
That one's cute.
Yeah. Also, did you guys notice
the
that?
only other like that's like what does he say? Is it's just don't touch my sister, and he says like a couple other things, right?
I
No,
think
he
that's
just
it.
says,
He
"Don't
started
touch
beating the shit out of someone really fast.
Yeah.
That one was pretty funny.
Yeah. Also, did you guys notice that Violet didn't know that she can make a force field when she jumped in front of Dash?
Yeah, how does she have 2 powers?
She doesn't. It's
Yeah,
just the
she
same,
does.
no, it's just the same thing as an invisible woman from the Fantastic Four. It's just the symbol. It's just the same power. It's just that it focuses on reflecting light. I guess that makes a sort of hard reflective light that
Like
bounces,
hard light, then I guess.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, I get you.
Yeah, kind of like remember Translucent from The Boys, how he says that he just has changes his skin that makes it reflects light so that it looks invisible.
Right.
Oh right.
I think it's similar like that.
Okay.
That was-
Anyway,
let's talk about
Yeah.
Syndrome.
I mean, we
this-
could get in technicalities, but that would take a long time.
yeah, I wanted to talk about the scene where Violet jumps in front of Dash. It's actually I stated this before. I didn't actually notice when I first saw this that Violet did not know she could make that force field, which intends that she fully intend to die by protecting her little brother.
She can make a force field. She did it at
No,
the
no,
dinner
no, no. She
table.
didn't know she could. Yes, she can make force field. She just didn't know she can make a force field while in midair while protecting Dash.
Oh,
Because remember
okay.
what he said? Remember
Yeah.
when he said, like, how are you doing that? And she says, I have no idea, which means that she did not know she could do that. So she was fully intended to die right there.
Yeah.
Huh. God, the body
That's
count
pretty
is
gnarly.
killer on this movie.
I know.
Okay, Syndrome.
Also, you gotta admit, this is very traumatic for kids too.
You know what? I don't even know like if this would affect kids now the way it did us because they're so desensitized to things.
They got 4.
Like I don't know
yeah.
if it still hits, you know?
Yeah, I was talking about more about the kids, about Dash and Violet, how it is that this is their first time actually in fights and they have to worry about not dying while also accidentally killing other people.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably not. They're all desensitized.
True. All right, so Chance, what is it you wanted to get into? The notes?
Syndrome. Yeah, notes. Let's get through the notes quick. Okay, Syndrome. Let's talk about Syndrome.
All right.
I love him. He's my favorite Pixar villain because, like,
I don't know
Even-
if I have a favorite Pixar villain.
Jason Lee is the best person to do the voice for this movie for the character. You know Jason Lee?
Yeah, from Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Yeah. And it was always weird me hearing his voice as a kid because I thought maybe they pitched up his voice or not, but I can't really tell.
No, I don't think they did.
Huh.
The thing that he created was 0 point energy, correct?
I think so.
That's an actual real thing.
Also, I noticed he likes throwing his, like, when he has a hold of things with his finger, he always let go of them multiple times in the movie. Like when he was holding Mr. Incredible at first, he lifted his finger once and he flew away. And then later in the movie, when he's trying to save the town, he's like, "I'm Syndrome," and throws her back in his head, and it just explodes.
Oh yeah. And he like tosses it into a building or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's just like he has that all planned out up until he has to actually do it when it comes to like the hero stuff.
Yeah. And also, how do you know where the family lives?
No clue.
Because I always call me
Probably
by
fished it
Sakura.
out from like look also you have to keep in mind that he killed all of Bob's friends and I mean some of them went to his wedding. So
Oh yeah, I noticed that some of the Gazer Beam and some of the Rocket guys. Also, did you guys notice that some of the heroes that Edna was mentioning that was wearing capes also died, or that were also at his wedding too?
Yeah.
yeah.
I gotta say, like, I got me questioning when did these people die, because it was almost immediately after the train wreck that Super started to go underground because of the whole suing thing.
Mm-hmm.
So they got me thinking, like, the timeline for this movie is kind of all over the place, but I think it just needs to be clarified.
Probably, yeah. I mean, I think they did
Yeah.
it intentionally. What else?
Also, I like Bon Voyage. I just like how he talks in French, and it's just really funny to hear him talk.
I also love when he's like, "Your suit looks ridiculous," and it's ridiculous. And I keep trying to run away the whole time, and he actually gets away. They never bring up Bon Voyage ever again.
Oh yeah.
Like he said, he talks to the police officer saying, "Hey guys, go look up for Bon Voyage." And meanwhile, Buddy's just in the back car saying, "I helped save you. Like, I'm incredible." Oh, my other favorite line: "You're not affiliated with me."
Oh yeah.
Oh, I want to use that line in my day-to-day life so badly.
Well, true, but no
Bob
one affiliates
desperately
themselves
trying to
with you.
cover his ass.
Yeah, someone makes like a brick wall television, makes like a brick, like a ply wall television thing, or like, you're not affiliated with me. I don't know. I don't have any notes. Any other notes?
Nope.
Let me look back at mine.
I have a lot of notes that seem like nonsense and rambling, so I don't want to use it. So let's go to our rating then. Ari, you go next. You go first.
5 out of 5. Solid. No complaints. I really like that movie.
Same here. I give it 5 stars. You, Sergio?
I was thinking about giving it like 4, but I looking back on it and I remember how much I loved the movie. And looking at it now, when I've grown and come to have a better understanding of what's happening in the movie, I would give it a 5 out of 5.
Yeah, it's just one of the movies that just was at the right time too. Because even though they were doing basically a kid version of Watchmen, as kid as it could be, with the superhero becoming illegal and stuff like that, it's still.
I'm not sure if it's a kid's version of Watchmen, because it is an occurring issue that happens in not just the Watchmen. It happens in the Watchmen, the X-Men, even some of the Marvel comics where some of the superheroes loses their powers or they have to go underground. That all happens within other superhero stories.
Oh yeah, I mean,
It's just that they kind of go with it. They don't actually just like as time skip it away. They actually show you what happens to a super once they lose their purpose and once they lose their what they believe is their purpose in life to actually be useful in society. It's like saying for me when I look back at this and I saw how Bob was feeling throughout the entire thing, I thought of a famous athlete who now can no longer play and is kind of just falling back on their glory days.
yeah,
I feel like that's like
Yeah.
like what you're saying, like that's like how like if I don't know how to put this into words. Basically, it's like if Avengers did go through with the Sokovia Accords, like they'd all be miserable and sad and remembering like when they were the heroes.
right.
Yeah.
You know,
Because they can see
similar.
they can see all this bad stuff happening and they do their best to actually try and help out. But now that they're illegal and they cannot do anything about it, it's like they're just watching the world burn, even though they have the capabilities to do it.
Which
It also reminds
Yeah,
me.
they legally can't.
Yeah, it also reminded me a lot of like how the boss, Mr. Hugh, is it? Chance? Is it
Oh,
Mr. Hugh?
yeah, no, it's Mr. Humph. Hugh.
Mr.
Or
Humph.
Hugh. Or I guess Hugh.
Yeah, it reminds me of like that's kind of like how they want the supers to be, where they see these problems but they just don't care. They just care about being normal. Whereas Humph just cares about making money.
Man, this movie's awesome. I don't know what to say about this. Movie's just so awesome. And yeah, better than the second one. Easily better than the second one.
Second one was okay, but that's a can of worms for another day.
Yeah. I don't know if this is my favorite Brad Bird movie though.
Oh yeah, Brad Bird actually mentioned that he based the powers off the roles that the family actually succeeds. Like saying how the father is supposed to be the protector and provider.
strong
That's why
one.
they made they made Bob strong. The mom is always pulled in several different directions, so they made her elastic. The baby is full of potential, which is why they made him have so many powers. The youngest middle child is always the most hyperactive boy in the family. And then there's Violet, who's a teenager, and she's just like the stereotypical teenager that just
The
angsty,
edgy
kind of like
one.
I'm just trying to figure out like how to define themselves, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, there was something I wanted to
Also-
Yeah.
Sorry, just one more thing. I want to ask, how is it that they found Syndrome before Mr. Incredible? Because Mr. Incredible is not very subtle with how he leaves his trail, but Frozone, he seems to be liking his life. It doesn't actually do anything to jeopardize it besides going out with Bob every now and again and saving people.
I don't know.
Me neither. Maybe Frozen caught on to it and just tried to just deflect it and then tell Bob about it.
Minor plot hole.
Yeah.
Ha ha ha.
All right. Well, I guess we can call it an episode. Thanks, Ari, for joining on the episode.
Thank you for having me here.
And where can they find you?
Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, because I refuse to call it X. Yeah, I'm kind of everywhere. And also Kara, that's where I'm going to start posting my artwork and opinions, because that's what everyone likes for some reason.
Awesome. And that can be a wrap. That's a wrap for today's episode. I'm Chance.
I'm Sergio. Ari, that's your cue.
Lovely.
Ari, it's a cue. You're supposed to say I'm Ari. Ari.
Huh?
You're supposed to say, that's a cue.
Say your name. Say your name.
Oh. Sorry. Well, And this is Ari. Bye. Thank you. I don't know. I'm not good at outros. I'm good at intros, not outros.
It's okay. Have a cinematic day.
Wow.
Hey everyone, thanks for listening. And be sure to subscribe to our channel and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, X, and TikTok at Brick Wall Cinema. Have a cinematic day.